the working class. Back to my paycheck transparency, right? So this is what I would get. Like, say I didn't miss those 3 days, say I showed up, the whatever. This, and mind you, this is not even a full 80. So my check would be about 1811 after taxes. It's going to be 1604. Even with that, right? This is going to be my take home, so to speak, maybe give or take a little bit more, a little bit less. I'm still in a drastic deficit. Whether what I posted for you were the main bills. We're not talking about if my kids take soccer or a summer program. They can't. That is not even an option for me. Okay? Because remember, I'm not even budgeting the groceries in. I'm not even budgeting the groceries in. Okay? Not at all. I don't even budget the groceries in. That is just a rough
Let's take a look at this real quick. So, hold on. She said, no, this isn't her then. This
guesstimate.
is
I,
something
I
else.
just have to get what I can. Sometimes we're eating at the Dollar Tree. Sometimes I get a pack of chicken. It is what it is. This is the reality of single mothers in America. This is the reality of the working class.
So me and my coworkers all got paid today,
The caption says, pay transparency in your 20s.
and we were working on night shifts, so we all got paid like at work. And I'm sitting here like talking to them about money, and I don't give a fuck. I talk about my check, I talk about my pay at work. I don't give a flying fuck. And they're the same way. So we're all like, oh, I got paid this much, this much, this much. And so I'm sitting at work. I paid my rent. I paid my car. I paid my insurance. Like, I paid all my bills at work before I even got home. And I'm like, damn, y'all, I think I have like $300 left of this paycheck. And my other coworker was like, oh shit, really? She was like, I have this much left. My paycheck was this much and my rent was this much. You do the math. And I'm sitting here like, oh my God, why are we all living the same fucking life right now? And on top of that, my tuition of, I think it's like 2,800, it's due on Wednesday, and I literally have like $300 left. Like, y'all do the math. But I think it's so important as young people to talk about shit like this, because we're literally all living the same life. Like, actually.
So some of these comments are pretty interesting. This person says literally 300 left over the next 2 weeks, and that's for food and gas and any emergency since everything is so expensive. She said, girl, seriously. Somebody said, girl, we are not living the same life, sadly. Some people in their 20s/30s have their parents still paying their bills. Some people have inheritance. Some have part-time jobs, i.e. extra income. Exactly. Listen, we're not all living the same life. It's gonna come down to your situation. What she didn't say in there, we never account for this. Some people have men, which is typically gonna be, I mean, think about how valuable that is. Typically a man, especially a man who's seeing his woman working already, is gonna try to work more than that. So that could actually equate to two incomes. I don't mean you and his. A man might be working two jobs, or have a job and have a business on the side, or have a job and be still doing something to stay productive, some type of little extra hustle. Right? So, yes, I agree. We're not all living the same lives. People, it's all going to come to strategy. What I notice, a lot of people just want the carpet just laid right out, as far as here's the path, just work this job and then everything will be fine. And by everything be fine, that still means that you also still get to live this extravagant life. You still get to take trips every quarter. You still get to go, and anytime you see a restaurant or something on TikTok, you just go to it and you indulge. No, you're gonna have to strategize. And you may have different things that other people may not have. You may have credit card debt, interest building up on you, student loan debt. It really just depends. It really just depends. And also it can come down to what you really need. For example, if see, she's talking about the pay transparency and everybody else was in the same boat as her. Yeah, other women. Guys don't really have all these expenses. Guys don't have to have a skincare routine. Guys don't have to buy makeup. Guys don't have to, get their hair done for real. And most dudes are just happy to just go to the gym on their free time and maybe play their game. So they don't have to spend as much money. Typically, when a guy may start spending more money to where it's like, dang, I don't have much left, where I can't save, is typically when he's going to start indulging with a female. And now he has to pay for dates. He has to pay for this, that, whatever. That becomes the added expense that then starts making it to where a guy starts saying, ooh, all right, my pocket's getting kind of thin now. But typically if a dude just left to his own devices, they'll be just fine. So it really just depends on the circumstances, really what I'm saying. Y'all, before we get back into it, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And it's literally just a click, literally just a click. So if you're here anyway, you might as well click that like button. And also if you can hype the video as well.
$240,000 last year, and all I really have is
The caption says blue collar workers posting their weekly paychecks. This can't be enough.
$240,000 last year, and all I really have is a high school diploma. I didn't start a tech company, I didn't become a doctor, and I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. I went through a union apprenticeship and became an IBEW journeyman electrician. Yes, last year I made $240,000, and I'm on track to clear $200,000 this year as well. My contractor also contributed over $18,000.
See, and this is what I'm talking about. She's talking about we're all living the same life. No, guarantee you there's a woman at your job and you're thinking, oh, we're all struggling, girl. Oh, we all got to put a little something on it. Meanwhile, it's a woman at your job. She got a husband like this, blue collar worker. She could see the vision. And let's say y'all making 50K at the job, but see, you're single, but you still got all the overhead. Oh yeah, you just bringing home 50K. Her little 50K is in addition. Now she done added her 50K to his 250, and they making 300, and you don't even know it. If she's smart, you won't even know it. But yeah, people got different circumstances out here. She may value men in a relationship completely different than you do, which then has a different quality of life, whatever. And then it could get even more exponential than that. She might have an inheritance. And so it can start adding up in the opposite way as well. You're talking about scarcity. Oh, you don't know what people's circumstances. You don't know who's in abundance while you're in scarcity. Don't think just because y'all got the same job that necessarily means that y'all live the same life. Don't make assumptions.
Year as well. My contractor also contributed over $18,000 into my annuity. I have health care, I have a pension, and I get yearly raises that are negotiated through collective bargaining. And most young people have no idea that this opportunity exists. Nobody talked about it in my high school. To the young men and women trying to figure life out, looking for a career, the trades deserve a serious look. Not everybody needs college, and that's no hate towards a higher education. But young people deserve to know all of their options. Because at the end of the day, somebody has to build America, and the trades are a damn good path. And at the rate we're moving now, the next generation of electricians are all going to retire millionaires. This is a great trade to get into.
And as somebody,
especially with the data centers and everything popping up, think about all these data centers that they need. I mean, for automation, AI, even with automation, that means that you're going to have robots probably doing work on production lines a lot more. Somebody's got to come and fix the electrical for those. But it could be other things. I mean, you see riggers making a lot of money, people who work on the rigs, the ships. Hell, even linemen, people who work on the power lines. Don't get that twisted. You make some good money doing that. Travel a lot. Yeah, trades can be where it's at. And see, another thing, if we just bring it to relationships, there might be a woman who may look down on a man because he does a trade. Meanwhile, you don't even know this dude's making $250 a year comfortably, doing the same thing every day. He doesn't have no burden of performance for real. He just shows up and he's valuable enough to where they'll pay him that type of money because they have these huge contracts, and a lot of it's tied to the government as well. So you see how much waste they were handing out for people working government jobs in the public sector that really wasn't working, really wasn't doing nothing, getting paid for nothing. So you think they're not going to pay people who are actually doing something and contributing to the infrastructure? It could be a great thing.
Let's talk about things money and come break down my nursing paycheck with me. So for a little background,
He's 23. He's a new grad in Michigan. I think he's a nurse as well.
I'm a 23-year-old new grad registered nurse. I live in Michigan and I am a night shift nurse. Now, this check I am about to go over is mostly on day shift because I am still orientating right now. But I also have one night shift mixed in there. So this is not a full accurate, but it's pretty much close, I feel like. So this was a 72-hour work week. So for my gross pay, I grossed $2,666.68. I, of course, had taxes taken out, and that was $581.03. Now, for my employee taxes, I didn't have any pre-tax or post-tax deductions taken out regarding like my investments, just because that it takes about 2 to 3 pay cycles for those to kick in.
Yeah.
So I am taking home for this pay period $2,085.65.
It's pretty good.
Now, I also have a PRN job as an infusion nurse. So for that job, I make $45 an hour. For this pay period.
You see what we talking about? It's probably other people that work with him, and that's their only thing. They only bringing home that $4,000, which I would say that's still pretty good, but you still gonna have to budget with that. You don't live above that because you still need to be having something where you can save for a rainy day. But now, I mean, shoot, he could really just, if he really wanted to, imagine if he could find a way to pay all his living expenses with his other job where he makes $45 an hour. And then he can just literally invest this money or do whatever with this money, save this money. That's a great opportunity. But you got to be willing. You got to be willing. So certain people, they'll live a certain way, but they're not willing to do more. And so they'll be like, we're all in this boat. We all only have $300. We got to stretch for 2 weeks. No. Because also it may not even be a willing thing. Maybe they can't work anymore. Maybe they got kids. He don't got no kids. Obviously.
So for that job, I make $45 an hour. For this pay period, I only worked 12 hours for that job, along with my full-time job. So for that job, I grossed $540. They took out $66.99 in taxes, and I took home $470.01. So from both jobs combined, I took home a total of $2,558.66. So this is what a typical paycheck will.
Well, he ain't gonna be able to live off that, but he could live off his regular money, and anytime he has those extra gigs, make that save that.
Like for me, if I was working on day shift, I am a night shift nurse, so I do plan on coming back on here and giving a more accurate example of what a night shift paycheck look like when I'm fully working nights.
And the beautiful thing about working nights as well is depending on what your capacity is, that still leaves you open throughout the whole day to be able to figure it out. And shoot, you come to that night shift, you just get you some coffee or whatever. I was working like crazy at one point, a couple points in my life. But the last one is where I was working over 120 hours a week for a sustained period of time, a little over 3 years. So nonstop. That was the last time I had a nice little run. And yeah, that night shift, that opens up a lot of possibilities. Because you still got the day. There's lots of work to be done during the day. But you have to be willing, or you have to have the potential within your schedule.
This paycheck breakdown might piss y'all off, but stay with me because it pissed me off too, but let's just get through it, okay? I made $12,135.17 this pay period. That is the most I've made this entire year.
That's interesting art on her wall. I wonder if she's a boxing fan. I like that. I think that looked like Marvin Hagler or something.
This pay period. That is the most I've made this entire year. But hear me out before y'all start saying like that must be nice where you work at. That was my full-time salary plus a bonus. Tell me why, y'all. Out of the $12,000 that I made, I only brought home $6,800. That's damn near half, okay? Literally on my check it said I netted 56%. So literally out of the 100%, I only took home 56%. Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm definitely pissed. And I guess to make things somewhat better, 10% did go into a 401k. So technically that is my money, even though I can't touch it. $1,184 that went to my 401k. Cool. But still, I made $12,000. Okay? I'm starting to. This paycheck breakdown might change my too, because I haven't done that since I was a lot younger and I used to owe taxes. My biggest thing is I'm so scared to owe taxes. Now the part that gave me the most is how much taxes was taken out the check. Okay, they took out $3,952, $4,000 that went to taxes. This paycheck
is good. You're probably getting a lot more taken out than you need to, which is good. You'll get a nice little check back probably at the end of the year once your deductions go through. Because I see a lot of people telling her in the comments that she should have, or that she should have, or that they would have filed exempt. Nah, just let them take out more, because now you got to live within the confines of less. And so when you get it on the back end, it'll be nice, because had you got it all, you'd have probably wrapped your head around, oh, let me spend it. But now it'll at least get saved, kicked down the road. You'll get it back on the back end. You ain't going to get it all back, but you'll get a good amount, because she's taking a good portion out of her check, and she's getting a good little portion set aside for her 401k as well. So that'll pay off in the future. That's still part of your net worth. I think it's good to have systems and have frameworks that make sure that it's basically doing what's in our best interest. Because as we see, a lot of people do not prioritize or plan for retirement.
I'm a college professor. I teach electrical. I have a trade school. Stay to the end of this. I'm going to show you my paycheck from my 9 to 5, and I'm going to tell you the truth of working in the trades, 100%, that no one tells you.
Would y'all believe me if I told y'all this was for 43 hours? 3,600 from 43 hours. Do the math on it if you want to pocket watch like that. But
he said 23-year-old young non-union electrician.
The trades ain't dead, man. Do not be letting these scammers and these trappers fool y'all, bro. 9 to 5 is not dead. The 9 to 5 is cool. Getting this type of money is cool. I worked 1 week and I got this type of money. Like, come on now, bro. The message of the day is don't let these rappers fool y'all, man. Don't let these trappers fool y'all, bro.
The truth is, you can make a lot of money in the trades. I've been in electrical for 24 years. This is my paycheck. I make a little over $70 an hour. I do have some overtime on this check. Keep in mind, I put a lot of money in my 401k, so not all of this is taxes.
Okay.
But it's like anything. You can make little or you can make a lot. It's in anything. So I believe this young brother.
Man, this is depressing, man. Do you know what I'm saying is depressing? This dude's gross pay was $6,800 and his check was $3,400. That's dang near half. Man, these taxes, man. This is starting to get outrageous. These taxes. That don't make no sense. Just going away like that. Like, and there's a cognitive dissonance there too, as far as that. It's like, yeah, I make a lot of money, but you really don't. You really don't get to take it home. And yeah, this is, I don't know how this still is allowed to fly at this level. And the crazy thing is, if they could take more, they would. And possibly will.
Make little or you can make a lot. It's in anything. So I believe this young brother that he did make that. Shout out to him. That's what we want to see. Young men getting their hands dirty, not running the streets, putting in the grind, and starting the trades young. That way when you get old, you can transition into office jobs and other avenues. The problem with the trades, people want to make $80 an hour from day one, and that's not how it works. You do have to put some time in. Typically in the trades, after 4 years, you're going to make great money. Keep in mind, the average salary of America is $60,000 a year. In the trades, you can easily make $200,000 a year. Now, granted, I do have friends in the electrical industry that don't make good money. One of my friends, I always try to get him a better job. He just wants to smoke pot and lay around with his girl, and he don't want to pursue nothing. So people like that don't go anywhere. But I also have other friends that own businesses. I got a guy that last night I talked to made $280,000 last year in the electrical industry working for a company. There's plenty of money to be made out here. It's all what you make out of it. It's like anything. You have wrestlers that wrestle in YMCA and make no money, and you have people in the WWE. You have doctors that make no money, and you have doctors that make a ton of money. It's all whatever you get out of it. If you're willing to fucking grind and get your hands dirty and put in the work, then you're going to make a ton of money.
Even if you just want to be average in the trade, you're going to do better than the average American, considering the average American only makes $60,000 a year. You can easily make twice as much as that.
Exactly. Because it's going to be how far you're willing to take it. You're going to get an opportunity. How much are you wanting to squeeze out of this opportunity? That's what will separate. There are some people who they literally just want to just do the bare minimum and go on about their life. And in the trades, I would argue that'll still be probably a little bit more than the average American salary. But like he's saying, and like that black guy was probably doing, you got people who are sharks out here, who are sharks, and they smell blood and they want it and they going to get it. And so you give them an opportunity, you give them more ability to work and more ability to make more and maybe do other little jobs to where it'll pay him more and maybe get more hours where he can really run it up. He gonna run it up, especially in our community. He probably saw them opportunities. He's like, I can make what? He said, sign me up. Let's get started. When can I start? I don't blame him because shoot, that's life-changing money. Now don't blow it. See, a lot of us will blow it. But see, it's a little bit different when you got a skill though. See, when you got a skill, you actually can blow everything because man, you're good. But it can depend, especially today. Now, like with the electrician, again, I would say he's probably going to be just fine. But I mean, if you had like a a coding skill or something like that, then you might be in trouble. I hope you didn't blow all your money, especially in the golden era when all these software developers and everything were making all this crazy money, 400,000, just getting crazy offers because it was so competitive for good talent. Now, I hope you didn't blow your money banking on your skill because it's
Y'all
over.
asked to see my $13,000 paycheck. So let's break it down. Now, this was not just from 1 week. This was from 2 weeks. And I'm going to tell y'all how my schedule worked and what hours I picked up for that. So, if you did not know, my base set schedule is 4 in a row, 10 off. When I say 4 in a row, 10 off.
By the way, she's a nurse. She's a nurse. I wouldn't be surprised if she's a travel nurse.
4 in a row, 10 off. When I say 4 in a row, 10 off, that means Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So, on this paycheck where I made $13,000 gross, I worked 5 shifts 1 week. That was 5 12-hour shifts, night shifts to be exact. This was before my pay raise. And then the next week I worked holiday. It was 3 shifts and one of those was a holiday. And that came up to $13,000. I am a nurse who works in Bay Area in Northern California. If you did not know, but I live in Florida, known as the bi-coastal nurse. And I'm just being...
See, she's a travel nurse. She knows the game for real because she's making sure to go to the higher paid states. She lives in Florida, but she's like, let me do my travel nursing in either California, New York, those type of places where they pay more because the living costs are more. So by taking her travel contracts out there, she can get more money in a shorter amount of time, but then spend it where she goes back because a lot of times they'll even pay for your living expenses. They'll give you stipends for you traveling as well. Included.
Transparent with y'all again. If you do not like nurse pay transparency, I don't know what to tell you. If my pay aggravates your broke demons, I don't know what to tell you. But I hope this inspires somebody.
That's interesting to just come at it like that. I don't think it required all that. Just, it's like, you can like be doing really well and then, but be humble and not have to like be braggadocious. Like, it's just bad character. It just wasn't necessary. It's not even like you were responding to nothing. That was just in you. It just had to come out, huh?
You want to know how much a registered nurse gets paid? Well, it's payday. Let's look at this nursing paycheck. If you don't know, I am a 24-year-old registered nurse.
Let's see the paycheck.
$7 an hour because
her base pay $44, night differential $7. Okay. Yeah, nurses are getting to it.
That's why
You see the smile? Oh.
I know you probably would think she's a nurse. Maybe not. She she looks super happy. But it looks like she's a project manager. She's doing her paycheck breakdown. She lives in DC. It says 100K salary.
My face. You know what time it is. Let's go budget this paycheck.
The smile quickly went away, okay? Because I'm trying to figure out how am I left with $27. But let's figure it out together. First, we're going to break down the paycheck and then go into what I spent my money on. My gross amount was $4,166.67. But with taxes, health insurance, retirement, and other benefits that I get via my job, my take-home pay ends up being $2,794.66. Before I do anything, I make sure to pay off my credit card in full. The $2,046.65.
Hold on. Boy. So she must use her credit card like it's her regular card to get the points. Because if not, if like she just has a bunch of debt, this is crazy. Because it says thanks for your payment of $2,046. So she was owing $2,000 on her credit card. So maybe she just uses her credit card and then pays it off when she gets paid.
Sent off to Discover, $227 to the IRS for a tax payment plan that I'm currently on. $66 goes to Pepco. $150.
Wait a second. Uh-oh. Looks like she doesn't get enough taken out of her check probably. So maybe she does owe on her credit card. Because it seems like she just owing stuff that you really shouldn't have to be owing.
$15 for my gym membership and $200 to Capital One for my secondary credit card. This brings my bills total to $2,654.66. After filling up my tank, giving to my church, and going out over the weekend, that is where that $27.
Okay, that's a little troubling. That's a little scary. And the reason why is because she didn't even mention her rent in there. So that means your other check your rent comes out of that one. This is a little much. It seems like she doesn't have, even with $100,000, some of these people just are behind the 8 ball. No kids, making $100,000, and it seems like she's still either ending every month at zero, or it's probably even negative with the fact that she had to pay that much in her credit card.
Dollars is coming from. This month I am on a very strict tight budget and hopefully lowering my statement balance to no more than $1,000 this month. Did make a new and improved budget template, so if you are interested, definitely comment the word budget and I will be
She's making the templates. Are you following the templates?
For a 29-year-old orthopedic PA. For context, I do get paid bi-weekly. Paycheck is my normal hour work week, my normal 1 Saturday a month overtime shift, other weekday overtime shift. So my gross pay will be $7,032.07, $93.03 for health insurance, dental insurance, vision, etc. My retirement contribution, $275. It's not great. We're increasing it. There's lots of reasons why. I'll go into it in another video. Taxes will take out $2,031.19. My net total contribution to my bank account will be $4,632.85.
I like that.
I also do one where I break down kind of my monthly budget and what everything goes into. So make sure that you like.
Oh, no. She may just be saying my net total. When you said, I think that's just what she was saying is what she's going to take home. I was hoping that she meant like she gonna save that. Saving aggressive. I like aggressive savers. I don't think she gonna save that though. I think she's just saying that's what I'm left with. That's gonna actually go into my bank account, which is still good. And I feel like there's a big opportunity to save. I hope she does. Or she just needs to get more contributions taken out and put into her retirement from her check, because it looked like they weren't taking much out for her check for retirement. But y'all, we'll leave it there for the day. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I am a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels, so that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice if you want to hype to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And also, if you want to become a member of the channel as well, the join button's on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you would get badges next to your comments, where it would show people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, the join button's on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.